Hi everyone, Pablo here from Unique Japan. How are you? What do you think? The UJ mask, we just created them. Shout out to Peter in Croatia that helped me with these. Of course, I'm using them to go to the shops and whatnot, but actually, when you're holding swords and handling swords, saliva could inadvertently get onto the blades. Not such a good thing. So, in future, we're planning on giving these great UJ masks with all our swords to clients who purchase swords from Unique Japan. So anyway, I'm not going to hold this mask on for the duration. Just thought I'd start off the video with it on, and I will promptly take it off. So, how are things? Today, I have a treat. I'm going to review a sword that's in our next catalog, Catalog 36. It's a sword by Kanetsugu, and it is a modern sword. So, made in 1995, June 1995. Kanetsugu is a living smith, so there's no certification for this blade, but he's doing great work, and he works, where does he work? In the Akamatsu Taro School in Kyushu province, down south, in Higo. So I think you guys are going to love this piece because it's big, bold, and a faithful recreation of a Minamoto Kiyomaro katana. Minamoto Kiyomaro, of course, is arguably the greatest swordsmith from the Shinto period. He had a short but rather illustrious career. He died actually in 1854 at just 42 years old through suicide. He had a drinking problem. It's one of those situations of a genius that just suffered, I guess, obviously some mental illness and took his life very early. But he did leave us with some amazing swords. And what we have here is a faithful recreation or an utsushi of a Minamoto Kiyomaro katana. So, without further ado, I will get to the stats. Now, get ready. This is a big time sword, very, very large. As I would say, like Nelson, large and in charge. Let's get a full view of this. This katana is 74 centimeters in nagasa, 74 centimeters long, just the blade itself. The sori, the curvature is 2.0 centimeters. It has one mikugi ana, and the moto haba, as you can see, is very wide, right? This is 3.47. So very, very big sword. The weight of the blade is almost 900 grams, which is an unusually large sword. And we'll get to the kissaki in a second, because the kissaki is 10 centimeters in size, which is just awesome. Okay, but from a distance here, this is one seriously big sword. Now, Kiyomaro worked in the Mino tradition, the Soshu tradition. Actually, part of my personal collection, I have a Minamoto Kiyomaro utsushi that was made in the Soshu tradition. This one is made in the Bizen tradition. So he worked in those three styles. This sword is in Bizen, which of course is choji, like a gunome-choji, so a lot of clove blossoms in the hamon. Okay, let's open up this big boy so I can show you the Nakago. Big. So, stuck in the shirasaya. Just take your time whenever you have swords. Don't push. Just relax. Relax. Okay, so let's take a look. Here's the Nakago. Don't mind my fingers. I cut myself washing dishes. A cup exploded. I was washing a coffee cup, and the mug exploded in my hand. Actually, it just cracked. Got my finger, wrist area. But I'm handling swords all the time. Somehow swords are safer than washing dishes. Okay, so let's look at here at the Nakago. So Higo no Kuni Akamatsu, that's a school. So Higo is where he's living, so it's over in Kyushu. Akamatsu Taro, you'll see that name Taro a lot. Akamatsu Taro, that's the name of the school. And then Kanetsugu Saku, so he made it. And that is an utsushi, let's see, utsushi Kiyomaro, right? So utsushi Kiyomaro. So a faithful recreation of Minamoto Kiyomaro. So Heisei Junen, so that 7th year of Heisei. Roku, right? Anybody been to Roppongi? Roku, might recognize that first kanji. Rokugatsu, which is the 6th month. And then this is Kichijutsu, right? So lucky day, right? So lucky day, Rokugatsu, so June 1995. Okay, you can see a bohi slightly going into the Nakago, so kaki nagashi. And can you see? I look back, make sure I don't hit anything. Big sword, but beautiful. Look at that. Got a light here with me that's working quite nicely now. But a lovely gunome, long gunome. Not so much in the, oh, look at that little tobiyaki. See a little spot up top there? Tobiyaki. Now, if that little spot was in the yakiba, the hardening area, that's called a yo, or a leaf. But up there in the G, love that little surprise actually, that was great, is tobiyaki. See if I can swing this sword around. Great piece. I don't carry a lot of modern swords at Unique Japan because I just tend to focus on the history. But once in a while you get these really great modern pieces that could rise in value, especially if another one. Look at that, a little more tobiyaki, especially with Kanetsugu. He's living, so no certificate. But once after he dies, we can potentially send this sword back to Japan and get certification, of course. It's just a rule of thumb that they don't certify. Oh, you see that? There's a yo right there. See how it's in the yakiba? They don't certify swords of those that are living. Anyway, it's a great piece, very big, like I say, and the kissaki is just awesome. Look at that kissaki. Yeah, a lot of fun, and you can enjoy. I mean, even the sword is new. I have a lot of clients that prefer to have, new swords because it doesn't necessarily carry any sort of violent history behind it, like any sword certainly made in the 1300s is going to have its fair share of battles over the years. But this is pure art and functional too. Don't get me wrong. This is one seriously sharp sword. And nice and healthy. So if you get a sense of what some of these really old swords would have looked like, when they were first made, this is a good example, right? You might have seen something like this over in the Keicho period. There's got that sort of like late, early 1600s, late 1500s. That's Momoyama period. They also had a long kissaki. I just realized there, you couldn't see the kissaki. But they had long kissaki in that sort of late 1500s. And of course, during the Nambokusho period in the 1300s. Generally speaking, when you see a large kissaki, you know that there's usually war going on at the time. Because, it could be snapped or cut because of being in battle, and then they can just reshape it. So if you see a sword with a long kissaki, chances are there was strife going on at the time. Now, was there strife going on in 1995 in Japan? I don't know. I don't think so. I was there. It didn't seem so much to me. Maybe the economy, everybody complained about the economy they've always complained about the Japanese economy ever since I arrived there first time in 1993. So, rather than putting inside the shirasaya, I'll show you the Koshirae, and I might pop it in the Koshirae as well. I'll take the mikugi out. But here is the Koshirae that comes with this sword. I'll take off the hilt, get a sense here. The hilt has flowers. It's wrapped in leather, and we have flowers here on the fuchi, and this is the kashira, right? The pommel of the sword. Some kind of floral design, and we also have this kenmaki ryu, where you have a dragon. Let's see, a dragon swallowing a sword, right? This is a very famous depiction. Katsumitsu Katana in this catalog also has this, but as horimono on the blade. But leather, you see sometimes samurai liked leather in the past on hilts, good grip. So lovely, lovely hilt. Let's take a look at the tsuba. And I'm laughing here because I'm seeing there's a small spider. How about that? On the floor here. He doesn't want to get on my finger, but there's a small spider here, and I'm smiling and chuckling because I think the spider knows that he's being watched. Look at that. There's on the tsuba itself is a spider. Now the Japanese are quite fond of spiders. Spiders in the morning, generally good luck. At night, not so good luck, representing thievery. But you know, spiders are strategic, and you know, there's always good meanings behind everything that the Japanese put. You know, there's always two sides of the coin. But it's nice work, isn't it, of this of that spider? Can't tell you how old it looks. It looks late Edo to me, but yeah, cool depiction of a spider on there. So why don't I try to put this together? I'm looking at the two seppas right now. These are the two seppas. Whatever, if you're unsure which seppa that goes on at the top, it's the one that's a little bit bigger. So I'm measuring the two, and I can see that this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to put that one on the top. And then the tsuba. And then the other seppa. Seppa's like, it's actually gold wrapped. It's nice and thick. This matches this is an unusually thick seppa, high quality seppa. And you know, whenever you see the gold never hits the tsuba, right? It's always the ungolded side goes onto the tsuba. And I'll just pop it in the hilt. Okay, good. And here's the mikugi. It's nice and solid. Sometimes you go a little tap on the carpet or something, and here it is, nice and solid. So here's a great solid katana inside the Koshirae. And here's a close look at the Koshirae. Get it kind of lacquered in sort of a deep brown color, reddish brown color. Can you see that? Maybe a little bit difficult, but it's yeah, it's a lovely piece. Lovely piece, sophisticated lacquer work. You know, made for a husband and wife. Now we know that because this here, let me just get my notes here. This is on the shirasaya. So up here, this says what say? Gofusai. So Gofusai no, that's the hiragana for no. And Go Chumon de Sakuto. So that means that it was especially crafted for a husband and wife. Gofusai up here is husband and wife. So a husband and wife decided to, you know, presumably probably on Kyushu. They were close to Kanetsugu, probably got to see him work, became friends, and asked him to make a Kiyomaro replica, right? So, and up here we have, so Tosho, Tosho Kanetsugu, so the swordsmith Kanetsugu. Now his real name is Kimura Kanesada. That's his real name, Kimura Kanesada. So, very good. So nice to see. So we're at 2021, so 21 plus 5, 26 years ago, this sword was crafted for this husband and wife team. Okay, so that's the sort of history behind this sword. Have a nice long tsunagi, wooden sword. This goes inside the Koshirae when the sword is inside the shirasaya. But if you're looking for a really good, new, healthy katana from the the modern era, this is a piece to consider. It's got a lot of character. It's strong. It's healthy, and I think it'll find a great home somewhere in this world. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Always a pleasure to serve you all. Thanks for all your support, and we'll catch you in the next video. Cheers. Bye.